Hey there, I'm Helen King, a brand new singer-songwriter playing the London indie rock music scene. Listen to my personal story on Networking Magazine podcast. From being a music lover from a young age to releasing my own debut album, Look Back No More, out now. 10 tracks of anthemic, melodic, emotive indie rock. You can get a behind-the-scenes glimpse of how it felt to launch my debut album at the iconic London venue The Water Rats on the 11th of February 2025. Look Back No More by Helen King's out now on all major streaming platforms.
This podcast is a relaxed and revealing conversation with Lampros Kalfuntzos, a creative who's dipped his toes in acting, photography and design. He's worked on some huge productions like Mission Impossible, No Time to Die and The Crown. He opens up about his Greek roots and life in the UK and how they have shaped the way he tells stories, both on screen and behind the camera. Have a listen. Lampros, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Well, look, you're in a very interesting character. You featured in one of the magazines that we did, Cypher.
Yes.
And a fascinating character. You've worked in television. You've worked in film. You've also worked behind the camera. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I don't know really where to start. Let's start with where you grew up. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Greece, in the city of Larissa. It's like in the middle of Greece.
Wow. Okay.
Near the mountains of Olympus with the Greek gods.
My God, you're selling it to me. I want to move there.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about your career. At what point? I mean, did you do so much. Where did it all start? Was it photography where you started? Was it acting? Which part did it start and how old were you?
So I started mainly from design, from graphic design. My brother was doing fine arts and photography at the time because I have an older brother. Right. So this is like I got some experience from photography and interested in visual arts.
Right.
And when I went to uni, I was interested from like early young age. On films and CGI and visual effects, before the AI world now that we are living.
Yeah.
So I did my degree in UK. I moved to UK. I did a degree in digital arts and 3D digital design. And my actual dissertation, it was for the Matrix film and another animated film. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So this is how it all started, because before that, I couldn't imagine that I would be like doing acting. The photography, I had it as a freelance. But I couldn't imagine, that I would do all of this.
So, I mean, it led to, I'll just read this out to the audience because, Mission Impossible, No Time to Die, The Crown, just to name a few. You've either got an amazing agent, or you walk into these roles. I mean, how did it work for you? Did you just get lucky, or how did you get discovered?
I think on some occasions, as you said, you have to be lucky as well. I was in a small commercial, and from that I started doing some extra featured roles.
Right.
For The Crown, it's a bit of a different story because the role I auditioned first, it wasn't the one that I went for, but because of my look, they changed it last time. Last minute.
Yeah.
And it was okay, can you go for the president of Algeria instead of because I wasn't going to be on any future scene. I was only going to be a photographer, in a press conference.
I see. Okay. And what about the photography side? I'm intrigued because I studied photography myself when I was a young guy. Love photography. And I think the creative side of photography is a very interesting topic. You mentioned AI and you mentioned technology. How much of that is involved with your photography when you have your own studio? I take it.
I'm using a studio here, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm using my own flat as well as a studio. I'm
Okay.
converting it in a studio, really, one of the
Right.
rooms.
Yeah.
I think at the moment I'm using I'm not using like AI for the photography part,
Right.
although I've seen like that other photographers they use already. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
experimenting a bit. I'm trying to do as much as I can, only with the camera and then the editing process after.
Right.
But
Right.
I think if we continue like that, I've seen like many posts that like that you just take like
You just take
a
the
pair
image
of
and you just,
clothes.
yeah.
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 Then you get the
Yeah.
location and then but it's still not there, like
Yeah.
from my
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about which one of the things surprised you the most: acting, photography, and design. So you've got those three sort of badges that you wear. Um, what surprised you in the biggest way out of those three?
Yeah. I think one thing that surprised me is how much all of these three are really about storytelling and emotion.
Right.
Like whether I'm designing a campaign or like
Hmm.
I'm photographing like a model or performing in a scene,
Hmm.
I'm always trying to create like a feeling first. Like acting
Yeah.
taught me like the my empathy and like a character.
Right.
Photography taught me how to observe people and light, and because of
Right.
that as well, obviously I'm looking specific like different settings for the light because of my film background.
Okay.
And design taught me like structure, like a rhythm and the visual communication of it.
Right. Right.
Uh, I
And can I
think,
just can I just
yeah,
ask
yeah.
you? Sorry to interrupt you. The photography side. What type of photography for the audience? What type of photography do you, or sector do you work in? Is it film photography, fashion photography? What kind of photography?
No, it's mostly fashion editorial photography.
Okay,
I've done in the past like underwater photography as well, like
right.
because I was very interested in that, and I have like the scuba diving
Wow.
certificate. But it's difficult to do, obviously, like in UK. That it's like you're in
Sure.
another country, probably it's
Sure.
easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And you've worked on blockbuster films and independent shorts.
yeah.
What is one unexpected lesson that you've learned from switching between big sets and more intimate productions? Because when you read the press, a lot of
Yeah.
movies that are making names for themselves are independent and small, rather than just being blockbuster films with big budgets. I mean, in your experience, what kind of lessons have you learned between the two?
I think the biggest lesson till now is that the scale, like you mentioned, it doesn't define the passion of it. Like
Hmm.
for example, on huge productions like Mission Impossible or the Fast Furious, the Hobbs and Shaw, or
Hmm.
like the Crown and other ones, you
Yeah,
experience incredible like organization and ambition.
sure.
Every detail is like at a very high level,
Yeah,
but again on independent production and like short films and smaller films
sure,
with no budget, you often see like the pure creativity and like the problem solving in that form.
sure,
Like
sure.
for example, people wear like multiple hats, and there is a different intimacy and vulnerability, but
Yeah,
sometimes this small set can feel even stronger from the bigger set.
yeah, yeah. I guess no, there are no rules anymore. Anything goes, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about your look. You're quite a hard-looking guy. You've got a very. I've seen you in different images, and you're kind of like this action hero. Um, you know, um, does it? But equally, I've seen you in different roles, and
Yeah.
you can kind of fit into a lot of things. But action roles seem to suit you a lot. What's it like working in action movies? I mean, are you starstruck when you see all these big movie stars around you? I think I saw a still of you sitting behind the rock. I think,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God! I mean, were you starstruck, or what was it? What did it feel like?
Well, it's funny because for example, on the specific scene, I didn't even know that I would be like behind him. It just happened on the day. So,
Yeah.
like you didn't
Yeah.
expect it. It's
Yeah.
like, it depends. Like on another scene, like that I was with Tom Cruise, like, it's like, it's stuff that you thinking that, oh, that can
Yeah.
happen, like
Yeah.
it might not happen.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it's just like people like us, like
Yeah.
like obviously some of them they are different than the others. So it
Sure.
depends
Sure.
of the personality and the experience they have.
I just got this thing about, you're going for a drink after work with your friends, and your friends are saying, how was your day? Oh yeah, it was all right. I just, I was in a scene with The Rock, and I was in a scene, and people going, yeah, right, come on.
Yeah, well, I shared that. Yeah, I shared that. Then I can show them the photo, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, oh my God.
Because sometimes.
So you grew up, you've got Greek heritage, and
Yes.
that shaped the way that you see stories. Is there a moment your roots made you see a project in a new light? Was it, what do you take from there? I know I spent a bit of time in Spain in my past, and I lived there for about 17 years, and it did impact me because, I lived in a hot country.
Of course.
I was very relaxed when I was outdoors. It did have a sort of impact on what I did and how I do it. What about you?
I'm growing up in Greece. It gave me, I think, a very emotional relationship with like storytelling. It's
Right.
like the Greek culture is full of mythology that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Drama, like from like the Greek actors and the theater, like different music and expressive conversations. On everyday life, I think there's like a cinematic quality, even on simple moments. But I think my roots, my Greek roots, made me more sensitive to different themes of identity and like a human connection. Like when I moved to the UK, it gave me like a different perspective. And obviously, in the beginning, it was hard, but it helped me like after like to understand people more and like the different situations. Like there have been moments on projects where I connected strongly with different stories about like leaving home and rebuilding like creatively in other countries. So it's like how you said with Spain. It's obviously just a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what do the family think of you back in Greece? Do they sort of talk to you? And are you a bigger star there than you are here? When you go there, do you have to wear dark glasses and a baseball hat?
No. Because obviously I haven't been in any like Greek productions.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is how it works there. So like I had some interviews from like Greek TV channels.
Right.
Because obviously it came out when I was in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So straight away, like I had like phone calls and stuff.
Yeah.
But after that, like unless if I don't do anything else, then it's just like a bit silent, and then it goes there.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So visible or invisible? I mean, when you're sort of crafting a scene, how do you approach it? I mean, they say, right, we'd like you to sit here. We'd like you to do when a director's sort of doing his or her part. How do you take on a scene? Is it something you sort of how do you practice for it?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Juliette Cochet, a talented French actress, making her mark in New York City. From dreams of Hollywood to captivating performances on stage and screen, Juliette's story is one of determination, creativity, and following one's passion. Join us as we detail her rise to fame, her roles, and her unique approach to acting. Whether you're an aspiring performer or simply in need of a dose of motivation, Juliette's journey will inspire you to pursue your dreams. Read the full interview now on our website, networkingmagazine.co.uk.
Yeah, I think I always look for I'm trying to be like honest. Like technically, everything obviously can be perfect. Like the lighting, the composition, the styling, everything, the
Sure.
hair, makeup. But if there is no like an emotional truth, the scene feels a bit empty. So I'm trying
Right.
to be like involved a bit, like practice a bit myself, be like trying to think as myself as I am in the specific character.
Yeah.
It's like like to make a difference when like I have a small pause when before somebody speaks, a
Yeah.
natural
Yeah.
expression between like different poses, or even imperfection in movement. So it's like
Yeah.
these small details that it's the whole atmosphere of the emotion and the perfection, like from different scenes.
Yeah, I was talking to another actor the other day, and
Yeah.
and she was saying the same thing. Sometimes it's not all about perfection; it's about imperfection that can make the difference. So it works both ways. When something's not perfect, it can be perfect in a scene. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. I'm jumping a bit, but I'm going to go back to
That's
photography a
fine.
little bit because you're actually an amazing photographer. You work the camera very well. I've seen some of your work on Instagram, and the way that you play between the coloring, the actual colors, the hue, and the contrast, really, really good. Very nice images.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how do you balance your time? I mean, acting is you've got acting, photography. I mean, I know you're creative, but do you kind of like sit there and say, right, this month I'm going to concentrate more on photography, next month more on acting? How does it work? How do you plan?
I think it's like often I have like different projects on. I know like that I will have like specific time,
Yeah.
and then I plan myself because I'm doing, as I said, the design work as well,
Yeah.
and the photography is like a freelance, and when the acting is like when I have like a specific project. Because,
Sure.
for example, now I know that I will have something like it's like after October.
Yeah.
So if I'm working, probably I'm gonna need to take like a holiday to do that,
Yeah.
to
I get
to
it.
to work
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, altogether, it's like you said. But it's good in occasions that if you don't have anything, then because you have all these three together, then like you have like different choices, and you can
Yeah.
choose what you want to do.
But it all fits you because it's all to do with creativity, right? It all fits really
Yes,
well.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It combines.
So if I was a young actor
Yeah.
and coming into the industry today, things have changed a little bit with the introduction of AI and all the rest of it. But what kind of advice would you give to someone who's entering your industry now?
I think, especially now, because everybody has like a phone and
Yeah,
like a camera, and
yeah,
because of AI, I think it'll be like a good. For example, if I was like, if I take myself back like 20 years, I think I will
hmm,
start earlier, do the
yeah,
acting,
yeah.
rather than like because I think when I started, I was already like I don't know, like 33 years old.
Right, right.
So I think if I was,
Yeah, but
I will advise to start.
you've got very good hair. You've got.
Yes.
That's right. You look very,
Yeah.
very young. Yeah. Sorry. Well, if you would start earlier, that's what the advice
Yeah,
you
I
would
will
give.
start earlier,
Yeah.
and then I will start creating from an early age, and
Right.
uh, trying to not to stop, and like to start with
Sure.
short
Sure.
films, commercials, and apply like start doing like extra jobs, because there are so many extra jobs that
Yeah.
you can see, and then take the experience, and then from all of this you meet people, you have like contacts,
Yeah.
networking, and from all of this it starts really. But
Yeah.
you need to be patient really. It's like a difficult industry.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a difficult
That's
industry.
why I'm doing the other stuff as well, really.
Of course,
As
you got to
well.
pay. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
pay the bills, and it all fits under
Yeah.
the same umbrella. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you mentioned networking. That's something we value very much with a networking magazine. So
Yeah.
networking, is it industry specific networking? Is it? Do you go to sort of acting events? I'm trying to work out how an actor networks in today's modern world. Is it online networking? How do you network?
I think, for example, like the one of the like some people that I met through
Mhm.
networking, it was from when I was on movies, and then we
I
kept in
see.
touch. They had
Yeah.
the same interests, and then like some of these people, they are like upcoming young directors, so they're trying to do a film. Most
Right.
of them, it was like not online. I would say. I would
Yeah.
say like mostly from like on film sets
Right.
from
Right.
different communities. I'm going on when I can on different events
Mhm.
that I'm meeting people. Like we have one because I'm based in Reading, so we have like a Reading film and video makers group here,
Okay.
and
Right.
sometimes we do stuff here. But
Mhm.
obviously, because of family, like, I cannot go to everything. That's why.
No, it's hard. It's hard to do for,
Yeah,
there's only so many hours in a day, right? So it's
yeah, yeah.
impossible. What about taking risks? What was the biggest risk you took? Was it leaving Greece for the UK? Was it stepping into something that was completely new for you? What was it?
I think the biggest risk, yeah, it was probably when I left because I didn't know from where I was coming from, and I was like only like 20 years old,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that back then that I'm gonna start doing like acting or even
Yeah.
photography as well. Because
Yeah.
when I did my uni, I had like some photography module on my degree, but
Sure.
I didn't think that okay, when I finish, I might do like photo shoots. It just like started from a studio in London that a friend of a friend introduced me. Then I started taking photo shoots, and then I
Wow.
started doing like a different TFP shoots.
Yeah.
And then after I got it like as a properly freelance job because I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I want to continue.
Yeah, I think that shows in your work because if well, I will put your Instagram, your photography page on the Instagram in the podcast description box so that people can have
Yeah.
a look. But your work is quite diverse. You work with a lot of top models, and it's really quite good. So I'll put that in there.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
okay, so let's talk about the future. I mean, what does the future hold for you? What are you looking forward to doing? Starring in big productions, small independent movies. I know you're very, very creative. Would you step into the arena of directing? Would you like to create your own movie? What kind of thing? What does the future hold for you?
No, I think no, I think, but I'm not like say I don't think I will go for directing. I think I would want to stay on acting, and then
Right.
apart from that, like it depends of. Obviously, like I have my agent, as you said, so I'm
Sure.
trying to apply to different
Sure.
future films. I
Yeah.
wanted to like apply to as much as I can, and
Hmm.
like try myself like on different films and productions.
You're talking about
Uh,
genres. You're talking about like horror, action, that kind of thing. Different genres.
yeah, different
Right.
genres, yeah. And then
Okay.
another thing I want to do, I want to stay because I have like a design business that I have like on and off from my
Right.
creative background, as you mentioned. So I
Hmm.
want to promote that. So I will have like more like clients from that side, and
Right.
so I have like like a backup plan, obviously, because of this the
Sure.
film industry. It's
Yeah.
difficult, but
Yeah.
you never know.
You never
We'll
know.
see.
You never know.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
say creative projects, what kind of creative projects? Just so that the audience can relate to your genre. What kind of creative projects in terms of is it um, movie posters? Because I know you get involved with a few of those, designing
Yeah.
those kind of things. Is that what you do?
So it's a bit of everything really. Like for example, like the movie posters that you said, I recently did like some title credits for like a future film that a friend of mine is doing it.
Right.
So I did this. Then we are doing different like social media campaigns, like
Right.
marketing campaigns, websites. we doing motion video graphics. We have been involved in exhibition stands as well for iGaming different companies, because
Right.
I'm for the last 7-8 years I've been working with iGaming clients. So
Wow.
this is like I'm trying to promote. It's like the 3D Dream Design is the online business that I'm trying to do stuff from there.
That's a
And,
big industry,
yeah.
isn't it? That
Yeah,
industry,
yeah,
the
exactly.
gaming
Yeah.
sector is
The
huge.
gaming, yeah.
Yeah,
Gaming, yeah.
really a big sector. Yeah, okay, all right. And what about creatives? If they're feeling stuck or uncertain, what kind of steps do you take? Would you give advice to them to discourage them from feeling down or stuck? Is there anything that you would say, get up, get on with it? What kind of advice would you give in terms of feeling stuck, or, as you say, it's a difficult industry, right?
Yeah, I think especially now with the AI, it is very tough and difficult. Like I've seen people like on LinkedIn and then other platforms that that they are saying
Sure.
we're looking for jobs for like so many months and all of
Yeah.
this. So I think it's you have to have the patient, like believe in yourself and try to do different stuff. Create like try as much as AI tools that you can, because there's so
Right.
many now.
Yeah.
Be creative, and I think it will something good will come to you if you have the patience and like you just
Sure.
believe in yourself.
Yeah, no, sound advice. On the topic of AI,
Yeah.
I know that I read recently an article on actors literally giving the rights to their bodies, really, to be used in future productions. I think,
Oh yeah.
there was something in the news about someone, I can't remember, I think it was Val Kilmer, who's given the
Yes.
daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
And I
was.
thought,
Yeah. It was.
I thought that's incredible. Do you see that as part of the future, just the natural progression? You're in gaming as well, so I mean, how does it work? One of my friends works for Boots Chemist, and I think they did an advert at Christmas, and they
Yeah.
scan the body so that they can place that body in different scenarios, and you've got to sign a piece of paper to say that they can use it. I think that's the way it goes. I'm not quite sure, so don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
But how does it work
Yeah.
in your industry? Is that true? Is you just surrender yourself?
Yeah, I hear that as well. I don't know if it's. I think that's the only occasion that with Val Kilmer that you mentioned. I
Right.
haven't because as you know, some of the actors they boycott us as well this one, so they don't want and they want to get away of this. So I think it depends the occasion. Like if you can use because for example, I heard something the other day that. They were trying to use Morgan Freeman's voice,
Right.
and he said no,
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
heard
do it.
that.
I think it was like a lawyer. He like, no, I don't want to do it. That's it. And now they're with lawyers. So it's a bit. I don't know if it's like a taste or like a different opinions of different things, but I'm not really sure. It depends the occasion. I will say, like if it was for me, and then it depends the whole package and all, or like what they're gonna want you to do with because it's your body, it's your face. It's like
correct. And you have to,
Yeah.
it's just you basically have to sign the rights to it. But I
Yeah.
suppose in a way it is a tool, isn't it? AI is nothing more than a tool, and in your profession, they modify and approach the tool in different ways. I suppose with different scenes and different things, especially the big productions where you've got thousands and thousands of people in the background.
Exactly.
You couldn't employ thousands and thousands of people, so I suppose with AI it makes more sense. But okay. And what about other countries? Are you do you have to travel with your type of work, or do you sort of get on a plane and find a role in another country, or are you just based in the UK?
At the moment, most of the roles that I got, obviously because of the studios in London and around London, they were based in the UK. I have I've been to other countries as well, but it was only like for one like one movie that I had in the past.
Yeah.
All of the other roles I got, they were based in London, around London, like in all of this, because obviously even the Hollywood big productions, they are coming to London.
Yeah. London is the film capital, I think, or one of the film capitals.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, it's been amazing to speak to you today. And I'm hoping that you'll come back. Yeah, I hope you'll come back on and talk to us about a future project.
Yes, definitely.
It'd be really nice,
definitely.
really nice. I know it's the hottest day we've had this year. I'm absolutely sweating away in the studio. It's incredibly hot here.
I think the hottest day you will be on a Monday or Tuesday. So
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I'm going to have to prepare myself. Anyway, it's been great to talk to you. I will put your details in the podcast description box so people can follow you on Instagram. I'll put all the different bits. And please stay in touch.
Thank you a lot for chance. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. And to the audience who tuned in today, thank you very much. You can please support us with a like and follow, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you again shortly. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Cypher Issue 2 is out now. In this edition, we feature singer-songwriter Kelsey Watts, who performed on The Voice. She's just released her new single, Fit In. We also interview Helen King, a talented indie singer-songwriter who's gaining international attention. Actor and producer Jonathan Stoddard shares his personal and professional journey with us, and we also talk to martial artist James Sang Lee, who's worked as an actor, stuntman, and fight choreographer in movies like Lethal Weapon 4 and Plane, starring Gerard Butler. You can buy Cypher in print or read it online at our website, networkingmagazine.co.uk. Check the bio for details.